Hey guys, Old Guy Gaming here, back again with another MTG Arena video, and tonight we're going to be covering Rakdos Skeletons. So I'm going to apologize in advance, my voice is still kind of recovering from being sick over the last 2 weeks almost. So, long story short, we knew we were taking a family trip this past weekend, so I front-loaded and recorded a whole bunch of videos, and I could feel it coming on right around then. We ended up taking the trip, and I ended up getting really, really sick, so I'm stuck with the voice. Now, I am on the mend. Thank you for being so concerned. But apparently everybody on YouTube is getting sick, and so did I. It is cold and flu season, however. So anyway, so let's get into the deck. You guys don't care about that. Again, this is going to end my little run for Tribal, because now I feel like I'm kind of reaching with the cards that I have. But we're going to do Skeletons. Mostly focusing around, let's just kind of get into it, mostly focusing around what Death Baron brings to the table for the deck. All Skeletons under your control, and Zombies, and I've used this card plenty of times, get +1/+1 and have Death Touch. So we tried to grab as many Skeletons as we could, at least the viable ones anyway. Barrier of Bones, 0/3 for 1 black, Defender Wall, and allows you to surveil. That kind of helps you shuffle through your deck and find what you're looking for. It's a fantastic little blocker, and then when Death Barons or 2 of them come down, it can do some damage. Gutterbones, because, well, you have to. Gutterbones is amazing. 3 cast downs to kind of get creatures out of your way. Reassembling Skeleton, because it's a skeleton and it's got some recursion. So we do have some recursion in these 2 creatures here, where you can kill them and they come back. You kill them, they come back. But since we are splashing red, we're going to take advantage of some of the spells in there, like Lightning Strike, for example. And of course, we've covered the obligatory 4 copies of Death Baron. Again, since we're splashing red, why not toss in Skewer the Critics? This gives you a whole bunch of direct damage spells. It is an aggro deck. It is designed to go super, super quick. So you're going to want to try to burn through and get there as quickly as possible. Judith. Now, I recognize while Judith is not a skeleton herself, and I would freely admit that, her +1/+0 to all creatures is super helpful for the deck. And whenever non-token creatures you control die, she also does additional damage. So when these reoccurring creatures who are going to die, they also do damage on their way out. Skeleton Archer, I've always loved this card, if nothing else for the art. He is a little high casting cost for a 3/3, but he also does 1 damage. So this can be an answer for some of those 1/1 flyers that are in the air, your Terramanders, things like that. If you catch him tapped down, throw this guy down. That 1 damage that he does is perfect. If nothing else, the 1 damage that he does also triggers Spectacle for things like Skewer the Critics and the boy, Spawn of Mayhem himself. I can't imagine now doing a black aggro deck without Spawn of Mayhem. Fantastic 4/4 flyer with trample. You can cast him for 3 mana for his Spectacle cost. At the beginning of your upkeep, he does 1 damage to both players. And if your life ever goes down to 10, he just keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger. The mana base is pretty relatively simple. 2 Memorial to Follies to bring back creatures you kind of need, like, you know, the Death Barons. 9 Swamps, 5 Mountains, 3 Blood Crypts, because, well, I've opened a ton of Ravnica Allegiance. 4 Cinder Barrens, because, darn it, who needs gates? We're just going to go with the old-fashioned Cinder Barrens. And then a Dragonskull Summit. Now, of course, if you really want to get serious about this deck, this should be at 4 and 4 for these 2. But it's a fun deck, so I could care less. So let's go ahead and play some games with it and see how it does. I have been practicing. I actually got the betterment of a Teferi Reclamation, Wilderness Reclamation deck in my warm-up games, and it's of course one of those situations where I'm like, oh, I wish I had turned the camera on right before that game happened. It's super annoying, because it's one of those decks that really should annihilate this fun deck, and to get a win out of that is just so satisfying. Unfortunately, didn't start recording until then. I always have this habit, I want to warm up a little before I play to kind of remember the decks. If nothing else, being on YouTube and going through all the decks that I go through each and every week, coming up with a new deck each week, 3 at minimum, gives me the opportunity to learn so much better. I see all kinds of decks, and I play all kinds of decks. So it does give me a pretty good knowledge of the game. That doesn't make me a great player. It just means I see a ton of stuff. Okay, so I like everything about this hand with the exception of not having red mana. I think I can live, considering I see a path to how this could work in the first 3 turns, and hopefully pull that red mana, so I am going to go ahead and keep this. I may learn to regret that. And we're going to drop good old Gutterbones. He reminds me an awful lot of the Dread Wanderer from Amonkhet. Aww. So we're going to stop that before it gets big. Probably going to regret that decision too, but why not? Yeah, no, Dreadwander, people compare it to Dreadwander from the Amonkhet set. I disagree, because I think the Dreadwander's ability to be able to pull out whenever you're low, there's the red mana we need, supersedes his, because his ability to be pulled out of the graveyard is 2 mana to pull him back, and then an additional 1 to cast him. So basically it's recursion for 3, where, ooh, that's a big boy. Initially, I was thinking I was going to Lightning Strike this. Now I need to double Lightning Strike that, or I am in some serious trouble. Oh, there's so many things I want to do here. Because I really, really want to... I'm going to have to eat this for a moment. I know it. He's going to hit me with that Steel Leaf Champion. As much as I want to hit him with it, I can't. See where I said I was going to regret that decision for not taking any red mana? Ooh. Unclaimed territory. This is an elf deck. Are we looking at Elf Ball? That's awesome. I've not seen it splash with red, so I'm curious as to what he's going for in that one. Probably... Sarkhan's Unsealing, maybe? Yeah, maybe. Oh, he's going wide. I expect to get Steel Leaf Championed in the face. No, I'm going to take that. It's so unfair. It's so unfair. What to do, what to do. If I only had one more red man, I have my answer for this guy. He is the problem right now at this juncture. Yeah, at least I'll give him a threat. That's probably not the right answer. Most likely he's probably one of those guys that main decks Plummet, which is amazing to me when you see people actually main deck Plummet. But it does happen. And my thought process behind that, of course, is if you aren't actually going against someone that has flyers, why main deck Plummet? It's 4 dead cards in your library that you can't even use. Or he does that instead. Yep. See, that's a better answer right there. I don't understand why he's defending the Steel Leaf so much as he is. I'm going to go ahead and block that because I can't take too much damage. And at least I take a creature with me and I have a means to get it back. He's just getting too wide for me. Sure. Let's go ahead and drop that and kill his Llanowar just because it amuses me, and if he's short on mana, it makes me laugh. And it gives me a solid answer to his Steel Leaf Champion. Malahide Ferox. Ooh. That's a scary boy. There we go. So, if I pay the 2 mana, I can do it. I can kill the Nullhide. So, I'm going to... Yep, I'm going to pay the mana to drop that, to hit him with that. Oh, I forgot to trigger on Skewer the Critic. I have to do it. Oh, that's frustrating. Oh, is that frustrating? No, I'm just wasted a lightning strike. Yeah, at least that's the worst it cost me. Sometimes I surprise myself in my stupidity. You'd have thought I'd have figured all that one out, that I still needed to get the damage through. Alright, is what it is. He's playing really defensive for a green player. I will kill that. It's an even trade as far as he's concerned. Good old Gutterbones. I'm actually at a loss. I don't know how I'm going to pull out this one out. What would be nice is if I had my cast downs. Those would be awesome. I have 4 of those in there. He's not legendary. Or I have 3 of them in there. 4. Alright, so we are going to do... Takes 6 mana, so I can actually kill his Storm Lieutenant. Yes, he gets the Elfin response, but... It does kill that. I think I've lost this one. I lost this one to my own stupidity. Yeah, I've got no choice. 11, 12, 13, 14. He's got enough to go lethal. I've got no choice. This one's a dead game. Make one misplay and that's what happens. Burn the Lightning Strike I could have used here for taking care of all these other things. But no. Yep, and I'm going to be rewarded for my stupidity. Not going to do any good, because I'm still going to die. Oh well, we'll let this one go. It is what it is. Bring them in. Bring them all in. Oh, interesting. I'm still going to survive this. No, I'm not. Skewer the Critics is a sorcery, not an instant. Alright. Well, that's playing Rakdos Skeletons poorly. Let's go on to try things better. Ooh. I will claim that. Good old mute button for the cough. For the win. Yeah, the worst part about this cold has been like the sore throat. Oh, it's been awful. I just now normally feel like I'm able to speak without pain. And I still have to get through 2 videos tonight. Because I've got so much going on. Kids in swim class, kids in karate, kids in parkour. What do we got? Ooh. A little slow. I'm not going to lie. A little slow. But I think I'm going to hang on to it. Let's drop the old Cinder Barrens and say hello. So, depending if he drops anything scary... Bolt the bird, or in this case, cast down the elf. Probably could have let that go. Probably could have cast the Reassembling Skeleton, but I want to get him off his mana game, because, again, if it's a ramp deck... Oh. I immediately regret decisions in life. It's going to be a Golgari, maybe the Sultai version of this deck. Oh, that's okay. I get rewarded for my stupidity. That can enter tapped, and... Drop the Reassembling Skeleton. I know everyone makes fun of this card and says it isn't great, but if nothing else, its recursion is there's no condition behind it. You can return it to the battlefield. Sure. I think I might go old Gutterbones. Bring back the Reassembling Skeleton. I'm going to eat 3 from this, and I get that, and that's okay. What I'm waiting for is the Wild Growth Walker, which he's not found yet, thankfully. So that cast down has a book. Ooh, Hostage Taker. So let's get the Surveil in first. Let's see what we've got coming. No, I've got all the mountains I need. Give me something different. And we'll hit him directly. So if he's playing this right, he's probably holding. He's pocketing that Wild Growth Walker. Because he's waiting for whatever removal I have to come out. See, that's the only thing I'm not necessarily sure. Don't get me wrong, it's a great deck. But when you splash blue into the Golgari deck, you lose some of the removal. And I'm not sure it's worth it. Because the whole basis behind that deck is to crush all your opponent's creatures, to get monster life gains. And when you splash creatures like this, that's yeah. What's he gonna take? Okay. And I'll kill it with recursion creatures. Here's the funny part. Whenever that comes into play, I'm gonna get the trigger again. So much fun. We shall do that. Might be worth it, but I'm saving that for other things. Ha ha ha, you thought you were stealing my skeleton, didn't you? Well, you're wrong, good sir. Anytime that Death Baron wants to come out, that would be amazing. So he took Hostage Taking Jade Light, which means he's going to take my skeleton again. I have half a mind to kill his Jade Light one more time, or his Hostage Taker one more time, just because it's funny. Oh, I gotta let it go untapped. So here's the deal. If I agree to let him have that, he's going to cast it next turn. If I don't, I eliminate my possibility of killing his Wild Growth if it comes out. I think I'll deal with that later. I have the removal to deal with it. It's just a question of, do I get it? I think I've already gone through 2 cast downs, though, haven't I? That's kind of scary. Carnage Tyrant. Ho ho ho. That's a bigger boy. Look at that. Okay. He is going to be problematic, to say the least. Yeah, anytime Judith or a... a Death Baron wants to come down that gives all these guys Death Touch, that would be great. Oh my god, how many times is he going to take that skeleton from me? I'm going to block the one that it actually matters. Well, if I don't get something here in a moment, I'm really kind of screwed. We shall pull that out. Right back into the battlefield. Too little, too late. Unfortunately. Nope. I am not going to be able to survive the onslaught that is going to be coming my way from Carnage Tyrant. And that is going to be game. Because he'll do that to me, personally. Or he'll do it to them. I was going to say, he'll do it to one of these guys to clear the road. And I can prevent 4. And that's going to do it. Darn it. Don't give us the good Sultai decks. This is a janky Rakdos Skeleton deck. The first game's on me. That one's on pairing. I don't like that. I'm kidding. I'm completely kidding. The fact that he hostage takered 3 times that skeleton, I'm still blown away by that. I mean, I obviously didn't have anything great to take, but never saw Death Guard, 4 of those. Never saw Judith, 3 of those. Plastic America. Okay. Oh wow, it's all the tap lands in the world. Ugh, sure. Let's see what happens. I think I'm going to start off with the Memorial Folly because I have, like, these ones at least I'm the choice to actually pay life to have them not come in tapped if I need something. But that one there, no choice. So that can enter tapped and we will go. Alright, be something good, be something good. Sure. Oh, no sir. I'm actually willing to pay 2 life to prevent that from happening. No sir, life gain for you. I can do it again too. Just watch. Splendid. Meet Lightning Strike. No sir, you can't have that either. He's going to get really annoyed here in a second. Sure. You can enter tabs. Because I'm going to go like this. That's going to be a problem. Yep, and unfortunately I am not going to have an answer for her at the moment. So the upside is I can kill 1 of his knights, so he's not getting so much off of the knights. Ugh. The pain. The pain. Alright, so this one's over. That's actually not the one I would have done. I would have taken the skeleton out. So unfortunately, he's already got his Angel Brigade online. And that's going to be game. Well, that was fun. Why am I getting the good decks? This is a fun deck. Oh, totally unnecessary. They all fly. Why? Is it just because maybe he's on a mission? Maybe he's got to complete casting all of his white spells for the day, and he's going to do it just to get that out of the way. He totally has the game in... Yeah, see, exactly. That's what, that would be my suspicion. I have that invisible card that says you lose. No? Okay. I was going to say, isn't the game already over with her? But no. I love that deck. It's such a good deck. I'm always interested whenever I see people take the Cage as opposed to things like Conclave Tribunal or even Ixalan's Binding. Like, don't get me wrong, the Cage does its job, but Conclave Tribunal and Ixalan's Binding, I think, do it better. Conclave Tribunal can be cheaper, and Ixalan's Binding can prevent other people from casting the same thing. So it's always weird for me to see the cage come out, and I'm like, oh yeah, that card exists, and it does the same thing. Better. Watch me get mana screwed. I have my fears. We'll drop that tap and say hello. Oh, that's wrong. I should have done the other one. Oh, goody. A life gain deck. Smile with the life gain deck. No, sir. Yes, I know that his next drop is going to be a Johnny's Bridemate. Or a Johnny's Welcome. One or the other. Or that. It's okay, I have answers to both. Remember what I said about being mana screwed? It's coming. Old Gutterbones. I was listening to, because obviously while I'm at work, coding away in solace, I do listen to a lot of my favorite YouTubers, and one of my favorites is Death Slayer Magic, and he was talking to me, he had released a video over the weekend about the mathematics behind land screws in Arena, and how if you start with a 2-land opening, you are more likely to be mana screwed than anything else. If you start with a 3-1, you're going to get more likely to be mana flooded. And it's just the weird mathematics behind the shuffler. I knew a Johnny's was coming out. At least we have one answer for it. Hey. No, sir. Played that deck before. Not going to face. Although, technically, with the Reassembling Skeleton, I don't care how big that thing gets. Nope, I'm holding that for the Resplendent Angel or whatever else he's got floating in there. If he doesn't drop anything, though, one of these two things is going down. Ill-Gotten Inheritance. That's a good... I've wanted to build a deck built solely around getting that with a Johnny's Bridemate. I think that's a great combo. Fine by me. They're only going to get bigger and badder from this point forward. Noble. Ultimately pointless, but noble nonetheless. Let's try that again, shall we? He is keeping up in life. I will give him that. It's going to be interesting when the Spawn of Mayhem starts canceling out his life gain. Admittedly, I'll be taking it too. Aperture of Blood. Great, great card. That simply must go. So how do we go about it? Can't do it for its base cost. Let's make him think we're stupid. We're going to attack here and here and say, if you block, it's going to die. And that's going to proc Skewer the Critics. Whew. That took some finagling, I'm not going to lie. I'm okay with that. All right. I need to keep the pressure up. So I'm going to swing with both of these. Whichever one he kills, I'm going to put either back into my hand or back to the battlefield. Yep, he makes the right call here. And I will put Gutterbones back in my hand. So if he wasn't a life-gaining deck, and he wasn't gaining as much life as he has been, we'd be doing pretty well, alright. We'd have already won the game at this point. That's cool. So let's see what he does next here. Because I'm going to send my death-touching skeleton right to his face. I'm going to assume he's not going to block. He's contemplating it. Now you've got problems. Unless you've got some removal built into that deck, this is going to be a problem child next turn. Very nice. No, sir. You can have it. Give it lifelink too. Very nice. That is a bit annoying. Yep, that's kind of annoying. Not gonna lie. So I'm gonna keep you back. I'm gonna swing with you and you. You can block that. It'll die. I shall do damage to you. Put Gutterbones back in my hand, and then back onto the battlefield. What do you do now? Oh, alright, I'll give him credit. That was a good game. I totally forgot Ill-Gotten Inheritance had that final effect. Alright, well, we're at 30 minutes. We'll give it one more try as I do a second video, and I've only got so much voice it's going to last before I regret doing all of these today. But I suffer for you. So I am moving away from the tribal decks because I have a couple of ideas I still want to try out. We've getting to the tail end. We're about 5 weeks away before we actually have the release of War of the Spark, which I'm going to be really excited for. So this is kind of that area where you're like, all right, I don't want to go and spend a ton of wild cards on new expensive decks. I've built all the big expensive decks, so what do you do? Well, you start doing budget decks because I have a ton of common and uncommon cards, wild cards that I could be using for other purposes. And what I'll do... Yeah, let's go with this one first. As I'll go ahead and start making some budget decks. Oh, yes, we absolutely want that. I'm going to go ahead and start making some budget decks that are only comprised of a minimal amount of rares, but Sarkhan's Unsealing. Ooh, this could get fun. Let's go Death Baron. I do have two other decks I want to review. I haven't done a mono green deck in this... ouch. In this meta yet. So I do want to update mono green. Yeah, he's got to go. I have a black-blue discard deck. One of my more popular videos is a janky black discard deck that I did, and everyone really liked that deck. Haha, I have a solution to that. So, I've been thinking every time I play a anyone that runs black blue, everyone that runs Jameer colors, I've been ooh. How do I pull this off? How do I pull this off? I don't have the mana to do it. Because what I would love, love, love to do is Skewer the Critics, the Phoenix, and then cast the Archer, and then kill the egg. But I don't have it. I'll have it next turn, though. Because he will... That's what I'm going to do. I'll have it next turn because he will spawn it. He'll do the damage. He'll trigger that. I'll be able to do Skewer the Critics and the Archer. Assuming he doesn't have a solution to burning this thing down. This is another deck I wanted to build, a Sarkhan's Unsealing deck. I could just never get it to work. Because I was thinking too small. Alright, well, I'm going to lose this game. Because there's not much I can do about this. Sure, let's drop that. Let's drop Judith. But anyway, so what I was saying before. So I have a mono green deck I want to update. Mono green Stompy to Ravnica Allegiance. I have a black green deck that's sort of inspired by... I keep saying the same phrase. Every time I play anyone returning to Mirror Colors and runs Thought Erasure, that's easily the best discard card in the game. Well, if I have a discard deck, if I just splash a little blue, get some Disinformation Campaigns, some Thought Erasures, and a couple other cards that could trigger Surveil... That could make for a relatively mean... I can do it. Finally, I can do it. It doesn't save me by any stretch of the imagination, but it certainly feels good. So, I've got an idea. I've got an idea brewing on... a black-blue discard deck. Obviously still keeping Raider's Wake. Obviously still keeping Fel Spectre to punish them for losing cards. Yeah, let's go there. I am so gonna lose this game. Sure, I can go here. That'll give me the opportunity to kill that. Burn down some of his ramp at least. Good game, sir. But yeah, so like I've got some ideas on how they do it. What it really needs, and again, I'm going to name drop a bunch of YouTubers that I listen to. Strictly Better Magic Dev, I love his channel. He's such a great guy. Had mentioned one of the cards he'd like to see in War of the Spark being the Rack from the old, old decrepit guys like me remember back in the alpha and beta days when the Rack was an artifact, one casting cost, and it did damage for people for having no cards in their hand. I want that card in Standard. Holy cow. It's the only thing that keeps a discard deck from really being viable. Because sure, you can get stuff out of their hand, but then there's no punishment for it. Whereas things like Raider's Wake or Fel Spectre sort of work along those lines, but they're all 4 casting costs. To have something on turn 1 to really start punishing and then be able to discard cards out of their hand, oh man, would that be awesome. Okay, so since we lost, we're going to reward you with a pack opening and play Guess the Rares. Now, I did have a couple of people mention, thank you guys for shooting out the messages. If I ever did end up getting a Hero of Precinct 1, I finally did. And I honestly think that because I mentioned it on camera and put it up on YouTube, whatever reason, that worked out the gods of the Guilds of Ravnica to say, here, you can finally have one. So I finally did open legitimately a Hero of Precinct 1 out of a pack the other day. I was actually really surprised. And progressive show. I'm curious as to how much I've got left. I also cracked open my vault again, so it tells you I've opened way too many packs. I am curious how much we've got left. How much do we have left in Ravnica Allegiance? Not collected. So, Hero Precinct 1 is off the list. There's another one. I didn't even notice this before. Prime Speaker, and this would be great. I have an Ooze deck in mind I want to try getting this one for. So yes, I'm really down to some of just the welcome deck stuff, and then the... So I'm almost almost got a full set. That's actually kind of... I might have to, just to be the completest that I am, go out and get all these. These are common, so there's no reason not to. And then pick these up. Anyway, I do hope you enjoyed the video. Like, subscribe. Always helps the channel out. Really appreciate it. There is a Patreon as well. That is patreon.com/ Ooh, I screwed that up. Patreon.com/oldguygamingmtga. And until next video, guys, we shall see you in the arena. This video was brought to you in no small part by our patrons. If you would like to help out the channel, go to www.patreon.com/oldguygamingmtga. And thank you